Hi, I'm Susan Basalik, a stringed instrument teacher from the Methacton School District located near Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I teach elementary school students grades 3 through 6. The topic of my poster session is not your usual arts assessments. Make them creative, collaborative, interactive, and authentic. As an elementary stringed instrument teacher, I find it very, very difficult to find assessments, pre-made assessments, that accurately measure what my students know, what I would like them to know, and what I would like them to learn how to do. So instead, I've now taken to creating my own. Over the past 4 years, I have been using a combination of web tools and other applications to create assessments that my students and I both enjoy working on together. In my session, I will be demonstrating the following items. Maybe you would find them interesting too. Interactive games such as Kahoot and quizzes, in which I will demonstrate how you can add musical snippets, pieces of music, etc., to make those applications more user-friendly and more useful for your students. You can also make your own games using an extension called Flippity. This extension works with Google Sheets. In my classes, we use a Jamboard for collaboration, working kind of like a Padlet, but I find that my students are really enjoying that, and we use that to help us prepare for performances. We're also using it now in our environment as well. I use Google Keep as a checklist for my students when they're practicing at home. And at the end of their checklist, I ask them to record a very short snippet of their performance, and I will be demonstrating that as part of this session. I love using Google Forms, and I use them for quite a few things. I use them for student individual reflections and also reflections about how our entire group is performing. I use Google Slides for many activities as well. For instance, I use them as e-portfolios for some of my younger students to teach even my youngest students how to play various songs and work on various techniques. I'm also using the drag and drop activities in Pear Deck, as well as a few of my own that I've completed, to teach my students basic instrument skills. That is working very well while we're here in the virtual environment. I use Google Docs as a means of collaborative assessment, where a student and I will sit side by side, working on an assessment document together so that we can see our results in real time. We do a lot of breakouts. I use breakouts to assess my students' skills, and also as a piece of summative assessment when we have completed final preparations for a piece of music that we're using. I've been using Google Forms as a form of creating breakouts. I love using Flipgrid. Flipgrid has been an absolute lifesaver now that we're in the virtual environment. And my students enjoy using it as well. It really has given them a lot of voice and choice in their performances. And then last but not least, I'll also be discussing using e-portfolios. My students started to create them last year. We found them very successful, and we'll be going back to that practice a little bit later this year. So if you are looking for ways to make your assessments more creative, interactive, and authentic, this is the session for you to see. Again, I'm Susan Basalik. Thanks for watching.